Alright. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the BNR Racing Network. Here this evening as we head to Chicago Street Course. Let me go over a little race information here. You see here it is 76 degrees outside, 30% humidity, clear sky, 22 miles per hour. 35 laps, 75 miles. Fuel is not 70%, it's 80. They do get 4 sets of tires. On quick fix, there are no green white checkers. You see here we are in Chicago, so it's a 2.1 mile track. Current track temp is 105. So these drivers got 10 minutes of open qualifying to go out and do whatever they got to do. So it's just all on whenever they want to go out.
Show the screen, please, sir. No, it's all good though. Now we have it. Yeah, open qualifying. Hopefully it's a thing that stays for the road courses later on, Brian. Maybe. Just have to wait and see, I suppose. Maybe implement it everywhere. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Like we said, Chicago, Illinois. The streets of Chicago here this evening. Just on the lakefront view of Chicago. So we do have a couple of overpasses. I think there's 2 or 3 overpasses that this street circuit has. So it does have some elevation change to it. Like you say, just over 2 miles of a circuit too. So one of the smaller, shorter road courses you could go, but it is a challenging technical circuit. It has really mainly, I would have to say, low speed corners. There's not too many, in my opinion, not too many high speed corners here. It's mainly a lot of like 90-degree corners, mainly what you would see at Watkins Glen per se. Basically, if Watkins Glen was flat, this would be Watkins Glen to a certain degree, I believe. But some drivers really love this track because of how much of a challenge it is. Street circuits always, present a challenge, especially having, these concrete walls.
The problem is though, when you do the open qualifying, if you make like those drafting tracks, any slight of contact to another vehicle, your lap time gets wiped away.
Yes.
So.
But the same thing can occur just by barely touching the wall as well, Brian. That lap time gets erased. So you got to be careful. Same rule of thought, involved, whether it's open qualifying or just single truck or car qualifying. So see there, Christopher Campbell working his way around this street circuit.
All about patience.
Yeah, very, very patient getting back to the throttle response. You want to drive basically as if you were at a short track, right? Getting back to the throttle because it is very easy to light those rear tires up and spin coming off of one of these 90-degree corners, and then just trying
Hey,
to
look,
break these
he
trucks.
put some color on those flames for you.
Yes, Troy did. Just trying to get into these corners, these trucks can wheel hop severely. Unlike the cup cars have a lot of probably brake shakes that you have to deal with. It can seem like it's wheel hopping, but it's not. But the trucks and the Xfinity cars, they still have the uh, non-independent rear suspension, so it's all one housing, and that rear end will get to shaking and hopping all around with that suspension, and that's what we talk about with wheel hop, especially going over bumpy surfaces or what have you while you're changing down the gears or trying to use the engine braking to slow the car or truck down.
He's got him on his own.
Oh my God, I've had butterfingers today with my cellular device. I tell you what.
Oh, Jesus. Have mercy. Caleb. Well, they got like 50 seconds left of time. I guess for those who are ever out there on the track. A little bit under 20 seconds here, and then these drivers should be ready to grid up and
Get on after it here this evening at Chicago.
yes, and just like that. All right,
Bruh.
B over here is going to go over the starting grid. So you see here, P1 will be Brandon Moore, P2 will be Caleb Sellner, P3 will be Dave Barry, P4 will be Jason Pearson, P5 will be Matthew Huntsaker, P6 will be Skylar Sixton, P7 will be Troy Daggett, P8 will be Jacob Carter, P9 will be Mark Berry, P10 will be Tyler Myers, P11 will be Chris Campbell, P12 will be JD O'Brien, P13 will be Josh Small, P14 will be Justin Steves, P15 will be Pete Woodrum, P16 will be Joe Stipe, and Zach Deuscher 17.
I guess Zach's going to try and last a first challenge here this evening.
Probably.
Try. Three little word, very huge implications. Try. Some say there is only do, there is no try. Anyway, Porsche Carrera pace car there. Love to see it. Fortunately, you only get them on the road courses. Oh, get out of my way. So you got the battle of the egos on the front row, right? Jacob Carter, Brandon Moore, right? So,
Now it'll be Brandon Moore, Caleb Sellner, Jacobs, and Ace.
oh, my bad. Oh, sorry, I had to throw Jacob under the bus apparently. Jacob was running real good practice laps. I guess he never could get a clean lap in for quali. Him and Brandon kept going back and forth in the practice times, right? So We know he for sure has something to do, or he most certainly can. I'll spit it out eventually. Get up there and possibly
Kebab!
compete tonight.
I think it might stick, to be honest with you. I think we might just kind of leave it as is. So. See here, Will, there's a lot of turns in here. Don't know why my map doesn't want to work today. It's just telling me no, we're not going to work today. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, the phenomenal Chicago street here.
I wonder if iRacing's going to scan the streets of Detroit whenever IndyCar and IMSA goes there this year. They went there last year, right? And I wonder if they're going to do that this year. Like, if iRacing, there was supposed to be an IndyCar game coming out, but then that went down the tubes. But then iRacing got the rights back, right, for IndyCar. So I really hope that and Belle Isle is just basically it's there. It's an island inside of Detroit, right? But now they started racing on the streets of Detroit, so I wonder if that will get incorporated into iRacing at some point. Hopefully, maybe. That's a real good rectangular road course street circuit. It's I thought it would be a boring race or races to watch, but the Michelin Pilot Challenge last year was actually pretty, intriguing to watch. He had a car trying to jump up on top of another car, do some type of Tony Hawk, skateboarding kickflip. But the IndyCar race was okay. The Indy Next Series races were all right. For it being the first event there, right? Everything. So.
Well, the tricky
The
part
Trans
is
Am races.
going into turn 1.
Oh, oh yeah, all these 90-degree corners here is going to most definitely be tricky. Trying to get it down, probably into more than likely first gear, maybe second, probably second, maybe all the way down to first. All depends. Green flag out in the air. Barney, Barry, Billy waving the flag, whatever you prefer to call him. Brandon getting a good whole shot jump on the field, but then Caleb gets right there on him under braking. But he's going to defend what you would possibly call the racing line, but then having a lot of wheel spin coming out of Turner. Off of turn number 2. I don't know why I said Turner. Turner Broadcasting Company, I don't know. Anywho, did you see Edge broke his leg, Brian?
I did. You see JP get a little bit wide there.
Yeah, it looks like he might have either wheel hopped or maybe just overdrove the exit there of the 3-4 complex. Now coming 5-6. I believe that 5, then 6.
So this track debuted with the Cup guys. Also, this track came out on iRacing with the next gen. So next gen car. So they put this track out and next gen car, or so today we call it Gen 7. So from what I heard, Will, these drivers do have to do a pit stop, correct?
Yes, 24 to 28 laps on a full tank is what the drivers were telling me, so. So we are going to have to see a pit stop in this 35-lap event.
So this stretch right here, you can pick up some speed, but you have to get it locked for this turn here. You see there, everybody hugging that wall well, making that right-hand turn there, going down this long chute here.
And those are pretty much your two long straightaways on this circuit.
If any passing is probably going to get done, it's probably going to be there at least.
Yes, going in and out, basically down the straightaways if you have a good enough toe coming out of the turn 3-4 complex before you brake hard for turn 5.
Not a bad field tonight, 16 drivers, which is very good. Love to see it. And that's the other turn right
Good.
there where everybody's going to start scraping that wall because of how hard you got to turn there. So. Oh, JP.
That's a Long Beach winner from the Cup Series on Thursday nights, having a ill moment coming out of the final corner. Don't know if he just had wheel spin, maybe somebody getting into the back of him, lifting him around perhaps, but troubles for JP.
I'm sorry right now, Brandon's comfortable riding P2, trying to get used to the track.
Oh, big bobble though from Brandon coming through turn 3, entering turn 4. But yeah, like you said, just kind of comfortable at the moment, biding the time. Caleb there in the lead at the moment. He probably doesn't want Caleb to get too far ahead of him. He's trying to match Caleb's pace for sure. Dave Barry, this is basically just a repeat of Mid-Ohio in a sense, Brian.
It is, with the top 4 here, but that just shows you who the road course guys are. But they could mess up and have an oopsie, and that could be that. It's just all on hitting your marks, doing the best you can, get through the gears the right way without overcooking your tires and all that good stuff too that comes with road course racing. Give and
exactly.
take. Really? Give and take. It's got the only thing that I can give and take.
Yeah, you need a whole lot of that for road courses. Road courses, short tracks especially, a whole lot of give and take. Oh, JP again.
At least he was right there, so it's wide enough to.
Yeah, he wasn't in one of the narrow parts of the track. Yes, good point, Brian.
If it was a narrow part, there probably would have been some blockage, and then maybe that magical caution would have came out if it ended up blocking the whole tracks. You see here, Brandon Moore is right up the pipes of Caleb Sellner. As Caleb gets through these turns really good, you see him bouncing all around. Well, you see how rough the surface is with these truckers. But now here comes Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob has taken third place away from Dave Barry, and he is almost up to the back of Brandon Moyer's tailgate. But Brandon, like I said, good slide again from Brandon. Brandon hasn't let Caleb he hasn't let Caleb drive off into the distance as of yet, so still there. Dave Barry struggling with grip off the corner. Can't quite get back to it how he wants, that's for sure. You can see that out of turn number 2 for Dave. But these top 3 runners here is definitely the cream of the crop here this evening at the moment. And we're only a few laps into this race too, Brian. Anything is quite possible, able to change. Just give it a lap or two. You never can tell. Jacob can always outbrake himself into a tire barrier. Caleb can maybe, you never know, speed on pit road. Brandon could lag out. I'm just saying the possibilities are endless for a sim racer to make a mistake is what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm wanting that. I'm rooting
Right.
for that. No, I'm just saying, it can happen.
It is. It is. They can have storms, bad
All the
storms
things that
come
is,
through.
yeah.
We've all been there. We've all been through it. So you see there, Carter gets a good run off that turn up the rear of Jacob. Up the rear of Brandon Moore in that 3 machine there.
This top trio here, they're trying to run away from Brother Dave. They want to get as far away from him as possible because he can be quite tricky coming to the end of these things. You never know when he can pop back up. Caleb with a wide berth into turn 3 through 4. Down this almost back straightaway. Might as well call it a back straightaway. All the other straightaways aren't really straight until you complete the lap. So, and it's the longest other straightaway from the front stretch. Basically, the way that this street circuit is laid out. You have basically two rectangles that set catty corner to one another, and that is your track, pretty much here at Chicagoland.
Pretty much.
I'm not sure. So one has a bobble, the other has a bobble. What's Caleb going to do? Is he going to have a bobble now? Because Mr. Smooth, no, Brother Dave brings it around out of the final turn. I'm wanting to call all the turns Turner. I must have him on my mind or something. Anyway, so Dave just loops it around coming out of the final turn. Unbelievable. I talked him up so good. It was just bound to happen. Let's see if I can talk Caleb into a mistake. Oh my gosh, I thought the Oreo was going to dunk into some milk right there. Did you see that? He had a big bobble, then he had to woe it down so he didn't basically T-bone Caleb going through the 3-4 complex.
Oh yeah. Boy, they are getting ever so close to that wall, Will.
And it's just a line around the track that you need to take in order to be quick around here. Very precise. Almost as if it was an open wheeler, just getting right to the Armco, right up against the Armco at Monaco, right? If you're Charles Leclerc or Max Verstappen.
Oh, Brandon sliding through that last turn.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure being applied by Jacob Carter here. He's trying to keep him at bay, but Jacob's going to look now to the inside. But, then they make a bit of contact there in turn 1. And this is really loving it in front. Caleb Sellner's loving all that in his mirror. He's probably not even worried about it. He's just like, all right, have at it. I don't care.
So far, so good with the top 3 here. I say focus on crashes, and we got a bunch of them going. Camera's like, nah, we're just gonna stay up here.
Oh, Justin. That's JD. Oh, but luckily, JD's able to lock it down before he hits the fence. Tyler Myers in the 8 truck. What happens here? He's got JP right behind him, going over one of the overpasses. Oh, and he finds the wall. Just overdrove the corner there, and you'll slide into the wall every time when you overdrive the corner. Oh, just like Jacob Carter did. Caleb must have had a skill issue because Brandon and Jacob has ran him back down. Oh, that must have been earlier. That must have been a replay. My apologies. Oh! Pete outbreaking himself into the tire barrier. And then Jacob finding the wall again.
Next time by, there'll be 25 laps to go.
Okay, is this live?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, producer, director, man, for
As long as
confirmation.
Oh! Right? They're getting at it now. As long as that, the tower is up there, it's live. When it's gone, it's a replay.
Oh,
But sometimes it's a little bit behind.
No, I don't even have the stream pulled up. My apologies, but.
No, you're good.
I don't even see. All I see is like the video. I don't see any. I don't have any graphics on the tablet display.
You're good. Coming into some lap traffic here, doing the best that they can. Stay out of the way. Oh, Carter, that's the wall. Aye, that's another thing. Traffic's gonna play a big key. You gotta find the right time to pass. Just like this. Now we have all these.
It's like Pete gets out of the way. I think that no, that was Myers. My apologies.
Oh,
Myers gets out the way, side by side for the lead, going through turn 1. Brandon Moore, Caleb Sun are going at it, but now, like you say, picking and choosing when to pass, when to do what. Brandon's momentum got a bit halted. They're going through turn 1, battling with Caleb, so now trying to run him back down as Caleb passes and disposes of Justin. Oh. Brandon gets to him in the wrong place. Oh, no. Ooh, just got to him at the wrong time and gave him the barn door salute. Now, that's a bit, like I said, just got to him at the wrong time. I tell you, just.
I'm telling you, lap traffic's a thing here. You guys, the thing is, they got to know when to pass. Unfortunately, now you're going to have a lot more guys pulling out of the pits. And some get through there. You see there, Brandon just gets into the back of Justin and sends him around there. So you see Tyler there slipping and sliding right off of there. And fortunately, that's just that. Oh, something happened to Skylar. Boy, everybody's going around now. Skylar here. What happened with Skylar?
Does he pull a does he? No, he doesn't pull a Noah Gregson. He pulls an Eric Amarola and just loops it around. I believe Eric looped it around, right? Hunsaker, ooh. Oh! Going over the crest, he lights it up and just, man, gotta be careful. That transition going over that overpass. Oh, we got a couple of trucks stuck there. That's Joe Stipe. Who was that?
And Mark.
Oh, man. Pete Woodrum overdrives turn one.
Ooh. 23 laps to go.
So much has already happened in just these handful of laps that we've already had. Well, this has been an intriguing race so far. I'll tell you, these front three really keeping one another honest. Oh,
Brandon,
my
that's a
goodness.
wall.
That is a wall. That's another wall. That's a Jacob. It's a tree.
I'm trying to find the best camera views there is, and it's
No,
very
not
hard.
you, mate. Yeah. No, it's all good.
Oh no!
Whenever I said that, oh, well, that's going to be significant contact. Brandon says, I'm going to go ahead and pit. Did Jacob help him there, or did he already lose it? I couldn't tell, Brian. As Brian's got the instant replay already going here. As you can tell, Brandon, he's been sliding off these corners all night. And coming through the penultimate corner, he's sliding. Now getting up to the final corner, he's sliding a bit on entry. And I don't think Jacob's to him yet. Not yet. And then Jacob finishes him off. Okay, so he definitely had help from that. He definitely had help. That's a lot of help, Brian.
That's yes, that is.
So, boy, oh boy, that's going to go down on the bayou, I tell you what. So, what is going on? Oh, Skyler with a moment.
Now, Will, as you see here, pit road is very tight there. If you're gonna pit, you gotta make a hard right.
Yes, indeed.
Coming off of that final turn. So.
If our viewers remember, just a couple of weeks ago, right, the Long Beach street circuit that we visited a few Thursday nights ago for the BNR fixed side of things. It's a very similar pit entry, Lime Rock Park, which one day we will run a race there one day, hopefully. It has a very similar entry where basically coming off the final corner, you have to really get in there, turn a good hard right to get in there, kind of. So very similar pit situation.
The problem is now, can Brandon make up the time that he lost? I'm going to say yes. I'm sure he's got some 4 freshies on there. He took a quick repair. He's set. And he pitted already, so he's good to the end. Oh, Troy.
Oh, Troy Daggett with a big mistake there. Nice, really nice.
Oh, no, Brandon. Oof.
Rewind that some more. Oh, see, you said he just used his quick fix. Well, now that's gone, ain't it?
I would believe so.
Troy gets into the tire. Oh, man. That's a tough break for both Troy and Brandon. As both of those trucks are destroyed, Justin's going around again in the background. Oh, what happened to JP again? Oh, it won't turn. Oh, okay, it does turn. No. It doesn't want to turn.
Good thing there's an opening there. That was it out of that. Looks like that Brandon Moore up to 3rd place. Tyler Myers here riding right behind Josh. This is for 9th position. Josh got a pretty clean truck here, huh? A shocker. We already know Tyler used all his quick fixes. Josh gets that turn very good. See there's Skylar Sixton going to pit from 6th position there, Will. He's finally going to make his pit stop. Ooh, Carter's in the pits. Boy, he about missed it. Yes, he did. Now the problem is, Will, when does Mr. Caleb pit?
Well, he's probably got such a good lead that it probably wouldn't affect him too much to stay out. Maybe go the distance, right? And even people behind him, like Jacob or anybody else, Jacob's already pitted out, it looks like,
Yes.
or one would assume. But yeah, he's got a good sized lead.
You see here Caleb coming up on some lap traffic. And there you go, the leader's in the pits.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking it would be too much longer before Caleb would bring it down pit road, so
So Brandon now cycles out to the front. Now, Will, it's the race on Cook Carter, and Caleb run him back down. And where will they catch him at? Because now you see here there's quite a little bit of traffic up there in front of him, so of Skylar, Tyler, and Josh. So oh, there goes Josh.
and Brandon's already made his pit stop. It's just, can Caleb run back down? Oh my goodness, yes, that was a scary incident coming by for the race leaders, because, oh man, Tyler just finds a wall.
Oh, and there goes Josh. In the back
Like,
there.
what is the capability of Brandon's truck? You see the damage that he sustained by helping Troy get through, the 3-4 section pretty well. And yeah, Josh just goes straight on the final corner. There's a tire barrier there, Josh. So you kind of see all three trucks of the top three kind of in the same camera shot going down the straightaways. But my question still to be determined is that three truck capable of fighting, defending the lead if necessary in the closing 15 laps here?
Because now
As Jacob
Carter has 2 to 3 laps more fresher tires than Brandon, and we saw how hard Brandon was pushing to get back up to the spots that he lost.
Currently 7 trucks on the lead lap at the moment. Skylar Sixton, the last truck on the lead lap, but maybe, okay, just got to put a lap down, my apologies. So 6 trucks on the lead lap at the moment. Christopher Campbell, the last truck on the lead lap. Pearson in 5th position. Dave Berry 4th. Caleb Sumner 3rd. Jacob Carter trying to make life so frustrating for Brandon Moore, as his night has already been fairly frustrating enough already. But he finds himself in the lead after having just an up and down seesawing night.
Now, well, here we
Coming
go.
up,
They caught the
Moore,
traffic here.
yep, coming up on J.D. O'Brien. Ooh, that's a tight fit there, but they make it work. Oh, I don't think they made it work a little bit further back. Something happened, but
maybe a
we
brake
digress.
lock up is what it looks like. Maybe trying to let Carter go on by. Maybe.
Yeah, there was a good puff of smoke, yes.
That's what I mean. When you catch lap traffic, you gotta. I'm always gonna say you gotta find the right time to pass. If you trespassing the guy in those tight, hard turns, then go ahead and do it. But now if you choose it and then you wreck, then I mean that's just the way you're gonna call it.
I just don't think Brandon's truck is at 100% capability, Brian, after having that big slam in the side of Troy. And right here, coming up on the back of Campbell, definitely don't want to catch him and try to overtake him there. We saw earlier how that was a big mistake. So
Campbell's
Caleb finally,
go, so that's good.
Caleb finally got around Sixton, so navigating turn 5, excuse me, going into turn 6 here. Going through the fountain curve. Ooh. Jacob tags the wall, trying to stay in the wake of the 3 truck.
That turn right there, Jacob's very good at. Oof. You see there a little slippage from Brandon. As now,
they're side by side now, coming out of turn number 2. Coming through the kink here.
Problem is, who gives?
Oh, really swabbling right at the apex of the kink, going down the straightaway.
Because if that happens again, you know and I know, somebody has to lift.
I don't think Jacob's going to venture that far down there next time, though, if he gets side by side again with Brandon. I don't think he's going to venture that far down to the wall, because he learned he probably got down there to the rubber. They're way up against the wall. It's just probably trashy, dusty. There's no grip right against that wall.
Brandon hit the wall.
Oh, yeah, he did. He dusted it pretty good. Man, oh man.
Boy, Brandon's getting a workout.
Now Jacob looks to the inside, now coming down to the final corner. Side by side coming off the final corner. Jacob finally, I think, has him cleared. No, still side by side. Brandon's trying to outbrake him going into the corner. They make contact. In the wall goes Jacob, sideways goes Brandon, and Caleb will go through. But Caleb is already on the tailgate of the 54 machine.
These are
Brandon tried
hard battles. This is just all
hard-fought racing, yes, hard-fought battles. Brandon tried as long as he could to keep Jacob at bay. Just wasn't good enough, mainly because of how limpy his truck is, how much damage he got after presumably using his quick fix, one would assume. I can't get over it. I can't believe it, how well he was able to perform and drive that truck after just how beat up it is. But
Don't
Jacob
count the
Carter now
one on
has the
Dyna.
task. Exactly. Jacob has the task now of trying to keep Caleb at bay, if he can here, for the next 11 laps. Caleb has the freshest of all fresh tires. He pitted the last out of everybody. If we do think he did take tires, I presume everybody took tires. You would have to assume big slide from Jacob, as you don't see Caleb doing that. There's really no need to be taking such a risk to just be sliding around like that, right? So you're just going to ink up time to the person behind you who's able to drive off the corner a lot more straighter than you are. As you can hear the gap. Oh, yep, the downshifts right as they get to that camera.
And there's Brandon right back there. Old Campbell. Buddy, you better cool them tires off. As these drivers come to 10 laps to go, Will. Oh, but this track little cranker out portion.
10 laps to go. When does Caleb decide to make his move to take back the lead of the race?
Oh, there they go. They both slid through that turn. Little panoramic views here.
Yeah, nice little views. Nine laps to go now at the stripe once they get here. The question still remains, can Jacob Carter hold off? Oh, a big slide into turn one by Jacob.
Oh, there he goes.
Caleb's now looking to the inside. Then turn number two, he's going to have him long corner exit. Jacob going to try to fight back though in 3 and 4 here. Coming up on some more lap traffic, Josh, I do believe. Yes, indeed. Tyler said he's out. He's sending into turn one. Hate to hear it, but, that's understandable. Jacob really sliding it around a lot more now, trying to reel back in Caleb. You just don't think it's going to happen because, like I said, he's really swinging it around, and you don't really want to do that, to be honest, on a street circuit. I mean, it's all
this is a
nice
very
and...
tough track. It's a very tough
Oh,
track.
it's a very tough track.
So once you get out of rhythm, that's it. It just... As we see Brandon. Got out of rhythm, and...
Chunk out of his truck. How he's still managing to hang on to third place, I mean, is anybody's wonder because I know Dave Barry, he's like a good 10 seconds off of Brandon, but still Brandon's struggling in that battered, beat up 3 machine.
Yep, 8 laps to go here in the BNR Truck Series. It's been an interesting race, I must say. Oh God, next week they head to iRacing. And then they head to Canadian Tire.
Yeah, iRacing Super Speedway, sure to be a doozy of a race. The Cup Series race that we did, that was a heck of a race too. Well, I mean, if you take away what happened on that one, and then take away what happened at lap, like, what was it, like 10 laps to go, JP got ricocheted?
Yeah.
Or it wasn't Joe. Phil got ricocheted.
Phil by Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Joe basically Beyblade Phil into JP. It's like, let him rip, Beyblade! And it's like, yeah, anyway. Anybody remembers that old anime cartoon Beyblade, or however you pronounce it, you get what I'm... Anyway. Those things hurt, too. Oh my goodness, I had some Mexican friends that had some Beyblades. My gosh, they hurt.
I think Carter's going to settle for P2 now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, Brian.
Unless something ironically happens to Caleb.
Caleb.
Which I don't think it's,
A lot would have to go wrong for Caleb. Lightning would have to strike him, like, just down.
Or that lap car in front of him gets loose and comes on the side of him and...
Well, oh, man. That sounds like a good time.
Oh, somebody blew up.
Now let's go down the totem pole, try to find out who it was. Oh, I think it was JP. It's JP. He's going to be relinquishing his 5th position, and Troy Daggett that goes up the totem pole. JP not going to get a top 5 finish here this evening. Oh.
There's that one.
Oh, Campbell just locks it up. He just missed his braking zone and just locked it up and into the tire barrier.
Oh, Brandon's ever so slightly getting closer to Jacob there, Will. 5 laps to go.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting battle here for second place. Brandon Moore, Jacob Carter, no love lost between these two good rivals, whatever you want to call them.
Foes.
Anything but probably late for dinner.
Hey,
Jacob really lets it keep swinging wide on these exits. That's really, I still think that's what has burnt his stuff up, is just letting it eat the tire off these corners. And now I'd have to
boy,
say
they love that
Brandon
ball.
is back there. Oh, I tell you what, they love it.
Especially that turn.
Caleb Selner has opened up a 4.5 second lead over Jacob Carter. Brandon Moore has driven down a little bit. He was almost 6 seconds back, but he's driven some back, possibly through lap traffic and so forth that Caleb has encountered, maybe. Possibility. Still some more trucks still out here on the track circuiting around with the race leaders.
Chris Campbell, forgot about turn 1. That does happen. But these two right here, I'm telling you. They come down to the last lap, they're going to get argy-bargy, and then...
Ain't that right, Calvin? It's going to get very difficult. I do agree in the closing laps. Brandon probably thinks Jacob owes him 1 or 2 or 5. And then, the same could probably be said for Jacob. But, yeah. Turn 1 here, I could assume it's very easy to get in a very good daze around a street circuit. I used to run a lot of laps at Long Beach, so anyway, you could get lost anywhere, even running at Daytona. You could forget, I got to turn for the trioval. So that's why some people don't like putting in a lot of laps. They get burnt out just practicing. I can understand that. I can relate to it, but you still need to get a feel for the track. You see there Pete William staying out of the way of the second place brawl going on between Jacob Carter and Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore looks like his truck has been through a tornado. I don't think they're catching Caleb unless, like we talked about, something drastic happens with Caleb, but it's motorsport, it's racing, it's sim racing. Anything is possible. Anything can happen.
These two run the same identical line.
Yeah, 8 laps of practice.
Hey, that's practice, though.
Yeah, that's practice. That's 8 more laps than other people could have gotten.
Oh, boy. Here they go.
Yeah, Jacob with a bobble trying to navigate around Justin. Brandon says, hello, I'm still here. Remember me? You did that to me earlier. Why not do it back? But Brandon didn't take full, he was like, hey, I could have, would have, should have, probably could have done it, but he didn't. He could have wiped him completely out, but he didn't. Very surprised. So, it's still going on, still.
Plus the 10 minutes of qualifying, yeah, so that's enough lap time around this course here. It is very tricky. It's all about hitting your marks.
Well, you can finesse around a street circuit pretty much. Side by side going into the final corner. Second place. They're going to be side by side going down the main straightaway now. Brandon Moore, Jacob Carter at it again. Jacob Carter might have just relinquished second to Brandon. I don't know. It looked kind of similar to that. Excuse me. Does Jacob Carter have enough to get back at Brandon? 2 laps remaining, a little bit, less, depending on where
Canadian
Caleb's
Tire
at.
is a very good track. I think
That's
other
another momentum track. Really elevation, a lot of technical about it, especially the double right-hander. Andretti hairpin, I guess. No, um, Andretti Kurt. What's it called? Anywho, now Jacob
Canadian
really
Tire.
slidey. What?
It is the Mario Andretti straightaway, the S's, White's corner, Clayton
No,
corner,
thank you.
Quebec corner, Moss corner.
Maybe it's Moss Corner. Anywho, I like when tracks. There's only a few, but I really like when the tracks have distinct names. Uh, with the
White flag is
corners,
out.
it's white flag is out. Caleb Sellner with a very comfortable 3.25 second lead over Brandon Moore, our pole sitter. Jacob Carter, our third place man, about 5 seconds back now. Mark Berry, fourth. And Troy Daggett rounds out the top 5 and 5th. Josh Small, 6th. Mark Berry, 7th. Justin Steves, 8th. Pete Woodrum, 9th. J.D. O'Brien, 10th. And that's all the runners left in the race, I do believe, is only 10. I think
Tyler's
Myers
still
might
out
be out
there,
there.
and
Oh, okay,
Steinhauer.
Joe and Tyler got back out there. Okay, my bad. So, 12 competitors still out on track, circuiting, making lap. But this is the final lap of asking, as Caleb is leading this race. Brandon Moore, though, maybe, just maybe, if Brandon had a couple of more laps, he could have got back to him, because he's really taken a lot out of that lead. But it's not going to be enough, as Caleb's coming through the end of the final sector, penultimate corner, coming up to the final corner, over the overpass, on to the final straight for the final time. Checkered flag. Oh, Brandon! Now get it back going, get it back going, get it back going. Come on. Caleb will take the checkered flag. Oh, Jacob gets by Brandon, taking second place away. Oh, man.
Oof.
What a humdinger of a race.
Yep. Was a good one.
Pretty good race for a street, for a road course, for a street circuit, for a couple of rectangles. I mean, yeah, not bad for a bunch of squares.
Right.
So Caleb Sellner, Jacob Carter gets by Brandon on the closing final corner. Brandon Moore rounds out the podium, like we just talked about. I already read everybody else. I'm not doing it again. Anyway, Dave Barry, 4th. Troy Daggett, 5th. Josh Small,
And you're doing it again.
6th. Yeah, why not? Got nothing else to do until we herd up the sheep, get our get our uh, get our goats herded up on the mountain. Whatever I prefer them to call them next. Get the cockroaches in here, Brian. Come on.
Be more.
Brandon. Don't think Brandon's there, Brian.
Don't think so.
Brandon. I bet you anything he had to go change his oil after that race. Jake. Well, I haven't got him yet. Okay. Jake,
Hello.
where's Brandon?
Oh no.
Okay. So, excellent dogfight between you and Brandon. You almost had something for Caleb, but anyway, but that was something else between you and Brandon. Tell us about the race and that dogfight between you and Brandon. You qualified what, eighth, sixth, not up there like eighth. Yeah, I thought you'd qualify first or second row, but you had some work to do. Tell us about it, Jacob.
Uh, the truck was just on rail. Like it was on rails at the beginning, and then it just went away like very fast. The elevations got to the tires, got hit in them, and it just sent it away. Um, the dogfight between me and him. I don't know what happened the first time we got into it. I don't know if it was like going into the pits. He never caught it, and I just smacked him in the rear, and it got him loose. I did say it was my fault, so maybe that was, one of the reasons he's not here. And then the second time we was just racing hard and we was just beating doors, and he lost it. So I don't know, if I could have gave more. I think I was up against the
No pun
wall
intended.
smacking it. Yeah. I think I was up against the wall when we hit, and it knocked him sideways. So,
Yeah.
yeah, after that, he was coming, so I was like, "You just go." I can't hold off Caleb, and he was running him down. And then when I came around the last turn, he was sideways, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So it was definitely just a battle. The tires getting hot like they was. It was just crazy. It was terrible.
Next week, or yeah, I think what really killed you is you just kept letting that truck slide on the exit of the corners, and like you couldn't get it straight. You just kept just drifting off the corners. I think that's truly what killed you. Or you might have actually could have
I can
stayed
tell you
ahead of
what killed
Caleb,
me.
but what?
I was running a 10-1, not a
Having
2 to
Patrick
one.
start. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was. Once I got into the turn and it turned, it was basically rubbing the back end more and more as I was turning.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like, I wouldn't say, it had more like, what's that called when something has more
I know
something.
what you mean.
Yeah, like it was just on command. Basically, it was instantly. So I kind of figured I messed up with the wheel ratio, the steering ratio. But there's nothing I can do now. I finished the race, so I'm just happy for that.
Next week's iRacing Super Speedway, Jacob, if you're here for that one.
Oh,
So what's the thoughts, preparation, mindset going into next week's race here in the BNR Truck Series?
staying in the back, watching the chaos unfold, and trying to survive.
Well, Jacob, final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to add before we let you go celebrate this P2 finish?
Well, thank y'all for doing what y'all do all the time, and I got a new sponsor on my truck. It's Walmart, and still have Haviland on there because I'm still supporting them for what they have done for me and all that. So, um, just we'll come back next week and try to learn, and maybe put in victory lane if everything goes well.
All right, Jacob. Well, best of luck to you next week, the iRacing Super Speedway, and good run here tonight, and catch you next week, Jacob.
Alrighty, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe we can get Dayberry.
All right.
He can substitute
Well, I
Brandon.
mean, Dave probably feels the same way Brandon does. Dave!
Barry,
Hey guys, what's going on?
I could
Hey,
have
you see
swore
what
I
we did
just
here? I
met
sent
you
Dave.
Friday.
You said, yeah, I'm pretty envious that Brian got to meet you. Like, I didn't.
Oh,
That sucks, but oh well.
yeah, it was good meeting some of the crew. Yeah, definitely fun.
You guys could have you could have video called me, and I could have been like, "Ah," but no, see, I could have kind of been there, but no, you didn't even think. Anyway, but yes, how was it at Charlotte, Dave? Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. Yeah, there wasn't,
Did Mark
not too
enjoy
many
himself?
things that we didn't like about it, other than that very last rain that happened. But all in all, man,
Yeah,
it was a great trip. So got to meet the guys, got to see a couple of drivers. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
another Chicago street circuit race here this evening as well. So, um, you were looking to just let them do them in front of you, and then you might try to reel them back in. But then you had some trouble coming off the final corner on a lap, and just tell us about how your race was going.
Yeah, actually, I mean, yeah, I've never done very well here. Maybe for a lap or two, it seems like, and I just lose time each lap. So I haven't found the right balance here. Once I lost it, I ended up hitting early because I got behind a couple of slower slash lapper cars that we ran up on, or I ran up on, and they were running for position. So it's not like it was going to be a hard pass, but I thought, if I just pit now, I can get some open track and maybe do something with it. But I really couldn't. I think the closest I got was like 8.5 seconds away from them, and they were just rolling. I didn't have nothing for them.
Yeah, they were in a different area code here in Chicago compared to everybody else. They were almost in Joliet. Um, iRacing Super Speedway next week, Dave. What do you think about that?
I've never seen the track, so I don't know if it's something I'm going to have to get or what. So it'll be interesting. I was telling Mark about it, and I guess Mark's been there, but I have not. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
we'll
like
see.
Talladega. It's like Talladega met like Texas World Speedway, and they had a baby with like the banking, well, like with like more banking, basically. If you remember, do you know what Texas World Speedway was? Have you ever seen
I do not
Texas?
know.
Oh man, dang it. Anyway, it's just a long, big racetrack with
Luke.
it's supposed to be unrestricted, but it's basically just it's basically another plate track, Dave. I'll spit it out a second.
Yeah, me and plate tracks don't get along too well, but it's something new. At least I won't have no bad habits yet, so I'll be able to learn my bad habits.
Exactly. Final thoughts, shout outs, anything else you'd like to add before we let you go? Hopefully have a good night.
Yeah, I'd like to, thank the guys for a clean race. I mean, it was from what I seen, it was a good race. I know that there was only maybe 4 or 5 of us on the lead lap, but it's a hard track, so I give them, tons of props. Caleb, Jacob, Brandon, they were just like you said, they were in their own zip code. Give them props and congratulate them on such a good race. You guys for the broadcast, Brian will appreciate everything you guys do. Broadcast is always fun to go back and listen to, and watch. So can't wait to do that sometime tomorrow, and that's about it. I'm just happy to survive another top five.
Yeah, you sure did, and I'm sure you're drained out from that drive. So.
Yeah, that'll put the wear on you for sure.
And yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I'm like, all right, we'll give Dave a quick talk here, since Brandon wasn't, you know, around at the time. So Like, all right, we'll talk to the one who finished behind him. So why not talk with Dave?
Well, I appreciate it, and it's good hearing from you guys. And yeah, that was a fun trip. I'm glad I met everybody. Well, not everybody, but
Most of
got to see
us.
Yeah,
Brandon right before we
not
left again.
everybody.
So he was in the same section we was, pretty close. So got to see him and tell him to have a safe trip home and everything. So yeah, it was definitely fun to meet some of the guys.
Yes, it was an awesome time to meet you and your brother there. So too bad I couldn't meet Michael.
Yeah, yeah, they couldn't be there for that particular time. So
That's,
is what
things
it is.
happen
Maybe
though.
another day.
No, that's right. Absolutely. Anyway, sir, awesome job on your run tonight. Trying to keep that 56 truck clean there, and hopefully we'll be having a similar conversation with you next week.
Sounds good, guys. Catch you then.
All right, Dave. You have yourself a good night.
Thanks. You too.
Next up, race winner, finally.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
How are you guys tonight?
I'm doing
Oh, you know.
quite swell, thank you.
So, Caleb, it was an interesting race. You, Brandon, and Jacob duking it out up there. You know, you guys drove away into basically your own area code. Then, after a while, pit stops happened. And then you just drove back up to Brandon and Jacob as you were watching them duke it out. What were you thinking?
Uh, I mean, unfortunately, that all happened with a couple run-ins with Brandon with other people. But watching that battle happen in front of me was absolutely wild. You know, just seeing Jacob absolutely burn his rears off. You know, Brandon absolutely being awesome and great at defending, which is what allowed me to catch up there. But just watching that happen all up in front of me was absolutely wild. I gotta commend Brandon for letting me or holding Jacob up enough to let me have a shot at it.
Let's see, what else can we talk about besides pure and utter domination at a street circuit for you? Your truck pretty much on rails. You were one of the only few trucks that were barely sliding coming off the corners, unlike Jacob trying to be kind of like Ken
Formula
Block, you
drift,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, he was doing a good, like, uh, what's that guy's name?
In block.
Giffen? No, the guy that drove the Mustangs and anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, like he's a Formula. Yeah. See, you knew who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and I told Jacob in the interview, I'm like, you probably shouldn't have been doing that. That's probably what killed you overall, was just sliding it off like you were some type of drifter. Anyway,
I mean,
but
I can't speak to him. I can't speak to that, but it really did not help him too much there,
exactly.
unfortunately. But he held a good wheel. You know, good job
Oh yeah,
getting second. You know, because his
I mean, he
tires
was
were shot. You know, he was driving like a dirt car out there.
definitely a wheel man, that's for sure. Um, what else? iRacing Super Speedways next week, Caleb. So
I mean, I
let's.
hope I can make it there. Recently just started a new job, so you know things
Oh,
aren't too looking too certain for me. Even looking at this weekend, might not have a chance to run the Indy 500 on iRacing, unfortunately. But we'll see how things go. Hopefully, I can make it. Uh, Try not to get into too much trouble there. Make a couple friends to help push me, hopefully, to the line. But yeah.
well, Caleb, final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to give or say or do or
Well, as I promised
maybe?
Brandon, he's going to get this first shout out for holding up Jacob. So thank you, Brandon. But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting. I'd like to thank Brian for hosting the league. I'd like to thank Shandy's Music and More. If you ever want any CD, you know, rock, really anything, and you're in the central Illinois area, he is your guy. He's got pretty much anything. Other than that, I don't really think anything else. So thank you.
Well, thanks for talking to us tonight, Caleb. Congratulations on the overall win here tonight. And, hopefully we'll be
Hopefully next
seeing you.
time will be rain.
Right? Hopefully they could add some rain.
Hopefully next season when we start the
Yeah,
rain
hopefully
More
should
add
be
some
here.
rain
besides.
I'm
to this,
hoping.
make it a little
I'm
bit more
hoping.
fun.
I'm hoping. I am. I'm absolutely hoping, but we'll see.
Yeah, we've got that river right next to the track, or lake right next to the track, and definitely doesn't help with the rain there.
Does not.
It's not as bad as Seattle, but it does rain there.
Right. But anyway, hell of a job, Caleb, tonight driving back up to take the spot away from Mr. Carter there. But as you said, Brandon helped you get there, so huge shout out to Brandon. But awesome drive, finessing that truck throughout the whole night.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we'll be able to see it sometime this week or next week, depending on how the schedule works out. And
Yeah, unfortunately, just the way it is, I don't know until later this
exactly.
week. So,
That's like
go
me.
figure. But
Yeah, that's like me with my schedules. It just always certain days she puts it out, and then it's like, oh, okay, well.
the worst part is I'm not even working just a specific time of day either. Some days I'm working 9 to 6, other days I'm working 12 to 10. So,
Yep, I hear that. Well, anyway, sir, awesome job. I'm gonna get you back up there. Enjoy seeing you out here. You always put a good
Yep.
show on.
always enjoy watching these back. So,
Oh yeah, you got a lot to watch, that's for sure. Alrighty, sir. We'll chit chat in a few.
Yep.
Anyway, Will, what a doozy, huh?
Yeah, what a doozy of a race. Like I said, it was a humdinger of a race. It was one heck of a showdown between those top three competitors, and we saw it this evening. And like we said, next week, same time, same bat channel, the BNR Truck Series will compete at the iRacing Super Speedway. This week, the BNR fixed side of things on Thursday nights is somewhere over the rainbow. We will be there when we get there. Where are we, Brian?
We are Chicagoland.
Chicagoland. So that is where we are in 2 days' time, or 48 hours. So just hopefully tune back with us then, and we'll bring you the action from Chicagoland. Until then, we want to wish each and every one of the competitors that came out and raced thank you, and each and every one of the viewers who come out and cheer everybody on, thank you as well. But until then, we wish you all